Okay.
All right, cheers.
I'm gonna cheers. Hey.
Do you think people can tell we're at Bathhouse?
Yeah. Uh, maybe the mugs. Honestly, the mugs are pretty iconic.
Yeah. We should have done this earlier in the night so we could be eating dumplings. I'm sorry, that was an honest mistake. Um,
Honestly, dumplings would go in right now. I've had dumplings before,
mhm.
and it would be pretty lit if we did a little bit of a
Have
dumpling
you ever
moment right
done a
now.
podcast where you've eaten food on the podcast before?
No, I feel like that. I feel like there's a fine line between eating food on a podcast and a mukbang.
But that's
Like, at
okay.
what point are you just doing a mukbang?
The lines are always blurry.
So we're doing a podcast and a mukbang at the same
We're
time.
just doing a fake mukbang. We're just talking about doing one.
I feel
This
like the appeal for a mukbang is that there is no talking over the mukbang.
you just eat the food.
You're just eating the food.
No, that's not how I would do it. I
Okay.
would do one where I'm eating. So
You're
my
talking
meal,
while you eat.
it's an almond flour pizza.
Okay.
I'm going to make this sound very unappealing to you, so it won't mess
Okay.
with your fast. It's an
Okay.
almond flour pizza,
Okay.
an entire pizza,
Yeah.
with a pound of ground beef on the pizza.
Amazing.
That's my most frequently eaten dinner for my life.
Are you like exaggerating when you
No.
say a pound of beef? Okay.
No.
I had
It's
a
a full
fear that
package.
you were exaggerating on that, and I'm kind of still terrified.
Yeah. Do you want to know the nutrition
Insane.
facts of that meal?
Sure.
No. Let's change gears.
If you insist on the nutrition facts.
There's a
then we'll
wave
go for
of
it.
people exiting the pool area now,
Yeah.
and I feel like I should talk about it now.
You
'cause
think it had to do with like the 17 gongs that was happening?
Probably. Wait, do you
Okay.
think there was like? It is possible that this ends up being scrapped because there was some kind of emergency that happened down there.
Oh.
Because it seems as
You
though
know, people aren't giving the face of emergency. They're just giving the face of like totally chill. Like,
this is gonna segue into our talk about confidence.
oh yeah,
Right
this is
now
perfect.
there's like stressors in the environment. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
No one can, the audience can't see it. We're doing a podcast. We didn't ask permission to
Right,
put
right.
lights up in here.
Right.
But we're just gonna go with it.
Yes, I'm
And
excited.
if this ends up being a 20-minute episode,
So be it.
whatever.
What are you gonna do
Because we're
about
just
it?
doing this for the clips anyway.
Right.
Okay.
It's all for the gag.
All right. I'm gonna do a hard pivot.
Okay.
Do you know about Owen's concept of flywheels? And yes,
No.
we're going to name drop Owen.
Okay, cool. Tell me the concept of flywheels.
The
'cause I
concept
don't
of
know.
flywheels, so basically the analogy he uses is imagine if instead of having to do heroin, if you're a heroin addict,
Yes.
if you're a junkie, instead of having to do the drug,
Yes.
you could just think a thought and that would produce that effect
Yes.
in your body.
Okay.
So
I
instead
do
of
know what you're
needing
talking
to go
about,
get the
please-
drug, to like
Yeah.
pay for the drug or steal the drug or whatever,
Yeah.
to acquire the drug and then put the drug into your arm,
Yeah.
you could just think a thought that would produce that.
Right. Immediately.
You would, so a flywheel would start where you would basically just do heroin faster and faster and faster.
If the drug of choice was heroin,
Yeah.
you would, yes. Okay. Amazing.
So over time, you would literally you would just become it.
right.
You would just become heroin.
You just become like a potato.
Yeah, like you wouldn't have any more conscious will other
Yes.
than to get heroin because
Yeah.
it would be such a self-reinforcing loop
Yeah. Yeah.
that you
Insane.
would get the drug would give you the high, you'd be like more and more and more and more and more and more and more, and very, very quickly you would
Right.
just, your entire being would be consumed by the need for heroin.
Right. Right.
So
Addiction and hyperspeed, basically.
yes.
Yeah.
And the analogy is on some level, we're all living that in a very slow way in many other contexts.
Give me an example.
Example would be social media.
Okay.
You can access a dopamine spike from your phone.
Right. By
So,
unlocking your phone
just-
and hitting TikTok or whatever.
It's not as
it
fast
is.
as a thought, but it's really quick.
Sure.
So, and there are very few people who I think have become TikTok, although we could probably think of maybe an example or two.
Right,
Where
right.
like their whole personality is just what they're consuming on
Yes,
TikTok.
yes. But there's definitely several people that have become a potato as a result of
Yeah.
over TikToking. Yeah.
But maybe what's more relevant to us and to people we know would be the person who's become like a partial addict
Right.
because they have such easy access to a thing and it gets in the way of what they would do.
It
with their
definitely is a
mind.
drug, right? And then people like just to have yourself detached from it is a hard thing to do. Even while while I'm doom scrolling, I can feel the urge to just continue. Like one more.
Yeah. I
And
say that out loud sometimes.
Yes, and I still continue instead of stopping myself from doing it, even though it's literally just one swipe away to get rid of the app and just go about your day or do whatever the hell you have to do.
Mhm.
So, but it's so strange how even though it's not your brain is not that quick, you can still get into the addiction of just continuing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've definitely been a TikTok potato several times.
We need to. Okay,
Yeah.
this could be like a very negative framing
Sure.
episode / mini episode because we don't know what the hell's happening here.
Right.
But I want to do the reason I'm bringing it up is to
Yeah.
do the flip side of that.
Okay.
The positive flywheel. And this is what I want to talk about with confidence.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to think if I can remember how to articulate this because I thought about it on the path train on the way here.
So how about I give it a try and then you can correct
Yes,
me?
please.
So
there are two of us.
The connection that I think you're trying to make is how do you use momentum to give yourself a boost of confidence?
So like turn yourself into momentum.
Right. And so you can use momentum in a bad way, for example, TikTok, to kind of spiral yourself downward into potato land. Or you can use this momentum to your advantage to spiral yourself upward into this super confident being.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about this idea of a flywheel where the momentum kind of just keeps it going forever and ever. And but you're doing it for the greater good instead of the heroin addict or whatever it is.
Going out and socializing and getting direct feedback from other people creates a very fast feedback loop in a way that most behavior does not. So if you wanted to become more confident, like doing something for your business, doing something at work, finishing a project, like you might only get positive feedback once every few months. Or even if it's every day.
If you want to get good at baking, bake. If you want to get good at cooking, cook. If you want to get good at controlling...
State.
Sorry, finish that sentence. I was trying to use that as an analogy.
Well, if you want to get good at
pumping your state despite the chaos.
Having delusional confidence.
Right.
Like, how do you build that?
Right.
Because some people are born like that.
Yeah.
Some people just are narcissistic and they have the pathological side of that. But if you want to have like the healthy kind of just clear confidence for no reason, true confidence. How do you build that?
Right.
And I think
so. I hate. All right. What you're basically saying is like fake it till you make it.
No, I'm actually not. I think that's part of it. So
separate that because I feel like that's kind of what I'm getting, and I have like my own ideas, and I honestly do believe it's a little bit of fake it till you make it. But tell me like where you differ on that.
So, okay, let's say you're a guy like us who has spent some amount of time in your life going to bars to talk to girls to get like better dating results, but also to get better at talking to girls. Like it's both for. We have 20 minutes.
Oh, we got the 20-minute warning. I love it. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have to talk fast.
Yeah.
You want to get better because you want the outcomes that are associated with that, but you also want to get better just because you want to get better.
Right.
If you're in a bar setting all the time and you're talking to a lot of people, you are basically getting rewarded for certain things and you're getting punished for certain things in your energy.
You're getting real-time responses by how you are acting in that setting.
Yep.
So if you are a jerk, people will immediately tell you, bro, you're being a jerk. And you'll get that instant feedback instead of, for example, doing a boot camp or doing a class on how to socialize or something.
Yeah.
You may not get that immediate real-time feedback to course correct you in the moment.
And being a jerk is a tricky one because there's mixed reviews for being a jerk. In some sense, it's good. But we know that confidence works and insecurity does not.
Right.
Like real confidence
even
works.
Fake confidence works.
Yes, real confidence always works.
Yes, 100%.
Fake confidence is pretty good.
Yeah.
It works most of the time.
It's way better than insecurity.
Yeah.
than real insecurity.
But real confidence always works.
Yeah, 100%.
So what happens is if you keep interacting, you'll keep getting positive feedback for real confidence.
Yes.
And a flywheel will start. Like, how do you become delusionally confident? You
so now the
get
question
rewarded
is,
for every moment where you're delusionally confident, and over time you just become that.
Right. But then where's the 0 to 1 part of that? Right. So what I'm hearing that you're saying is once you're already there, you see the proof that allows you to continue and build that flywheel effect. Mm-hmm. But I think the hardest part for most people is, easier said than done. How do I get from 0 where I'm at now to 1, that step of feeling even a little bit of confidence?
Right. You do. I guess it's more about the framework then, because if a person who doesn't understand what, like that flywheel even exists at all, that concept even exists at all, they're not going to internalize any of the feedback.
Right.
Or
they won't even think that it'll work, so they won't even give it an effort.
Go in the first place. Right. So step 1, listen to this podcast.
Right.
No, step 1 is
insert advertisement here.
This is a self-promoting ad for an episode that we might throw out because it's too short, but we'll see. So
let me give you my perspective of confidence since you gave us a little dose, because I do agree with the flywheel effect. But I think what I want to add is this idea of the id versus the ego versus superego.
Okay.
So the id version of confidence is I have these immediate desires to retreat. I have these immediate desires to stay home and do nothing. I have these immediate desires to, I see a situation and I'm like, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. So what breaks you out of that? What breaks you out of that is somebody shoving you into the situation and just doing it. And also lowering the bar so that you can forcefully fight against that id. Now, second sector of that is the ego now. So you can break yourself out of that id, but now there's something in your brain that's convincing you logically that you don't have this confidence, right? And so how do you fight against the brain telling you, convincing you, giving you excuses that you don't have that confidence? You're not a confident. You're just faking it. You're not really confident, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where what you're talking about comes in, where you need to push through that id, just take the action, and then you see the proof. Oh, okay, I could be confident and this thing will actually work. Like me going up and saying hi to somebody, this was weird, but I did it, and so I guess I am a confident person. And so you kind of like reinforce and jailbreak your brain from telling you you're not confident by just doing it, by taking the action.
Yeah.
And then the last piece is this idea of the superego of, maybe you have this like loser effect, or you're trying to do the confident thing and it's just falling short every time, and so you're not getting yourself to that location. So like there's two parts of confidence. There's doing it and then there's thinking it.
Yeah.
So how would you like respond to just that idea?
Doing it is you want to create a habit around doing it. Like you want it to be automatic, because if you have to think about it, then you're in the thinking category.
Whether you're confident or not, do the confident actions.
Right.
Like
and then you become confident that way. Yeah. Well, I think at every step you can kind of peel further back, like zoom out further and get another level removed. Part of my confidence that I think is different from what other people, like part of my self-esteem, self-worth, how we can call it a bunch of different things, comes from the fact that I know even in failure, even in worst case scenarios, it's still fine.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I'm trying to do something. Even if I fail, I'm still okay that I failed.
Right.
So it's like, it just becomes another meta level. Like you just go another level of meta behind it.
So my perspective is that is the ego fighting to say, I'm not confident. And your super ego is saying, no, you are. You just got to reframe this thing.
Yes,
so
and you can go super ego. I don't know how literally philosophically coherent that is, but I think you can. I think you can always go a layer out.
Okay.
You can always say, even if
so maybe the id ego, super ego is a bad analogy, because you're saying that there's more layers beyond that for correction.
Right, because you could say, even if I failed, at least I tried, right?
Right.
And then you could have like another level behind you that goes, you didn't really try that hard, did you? And then you could say, well,
I didn't, arguing with yourself.
Right, and then you could say, but I didn't try that hard. I didn't try as hard as I initially thought, but it's still okay because I'm acknowledging it now.
Right.
And then you could say, yeah, but you aren't acknowledging it fully. And then like you kind of do this, you sort of zigzag backwards till you get to the point where it's like, even if I died, none of this matters anyway. Like it's still all good.
All the roads lead to nihilism.
Literally though.
Yeah.
I think like the freedom you get from acknowledging, there's two things that I think are just unbelievably freeing, which I think if you're a religious person, you can't quite get to them.
Okay.
One is, yes, there's a fundamental nihilism that I just think is just undoubtedly true.
Yeah.
It's just like, even if you're doing things for God, actually, what is the point of that? You know, what is the point of God? Like, so you can just peel back far enough where it's like, who cares?
Yeah, and I've had a conversation with a religious person, not to go too off topic.
No, let's do it. That's fine. We can segue there.
Well, the bottom line of that, it was an argument. It was back and forth. It was why, but where does that come from? It was everything that you're saying. And the bottom line was, well, you have to have faith.
Right.
That was the end of that.
You always get a because I said so at the end of it. And basically, that's like, there's nothing there.
And and you can't really argue with that because like there's truth to it, right? Like if you have the faith that it happens, and sure, I cannot convince you against that.
Yeah.
But there's also the logic ends there at the same time.
Yeah.
Now you just said it is what it is kind of thing.
I like that point. I feel like we should pause at this point.
I think we should too, yeah.
And we're going to do the rest of it. We could do this on the street. I did a leg workout today.
Okay.
I did like shins.
I did hot yoga and I've been fasting for 18 hours. I don't want to hear shit.
We're both struggling.
Okay.
It's equal.
All right, sure.
I specifically did a
not
shin
equal,
workout.
But okay.
The tibialis.
Okay.
And so that hurts right now.
Okay.
You know what? It's all good. It's not that cold. So the point of this podcast...
The longer you talk about the tibialis, the more it's going to hurt.
Yeah. So the point of this podcast,
Yeah.
it's called Not That Cold, and it's about doing
Right.
hard things,
And it's
specifically
about-
cold
yeah.
approach, but it's about overcoming difficult things in general
Yes, yes. And it's
And so
about 40
we're-
degrees outside.
so we're
it's
doing that.
Not that cold.
right now.
Yeah.
Brett and I actually did an episode in January outside
No, you didn't.
in our t-shirts on the roof of my building
Oh my god.
It was 26 degrees.
Why would you do that to yourself?
for the content. I got sick when we did it.
Of course you did.
We were outside for like an
Holy
hour and
shit.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
So that has already been done, so this is not new.
Amazing.
Are you okay sitting like that?
I'm chillingly perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so what is
sure.
this doing for your confidence as a human being, do you think?
This is like boosting it to the max.
Yeah, so, okay, let's separate
Your
the
ego
two.
boosting me right now.
Let's separate the two kinds of confidence.
Okay.
So there's the kind where you stack evidence that you are competent. That
Yes.
when you want something to happen, you are good at making it happen.
Yes.
And
True confidence, shall we call it that?
it is, no, I think it's the other kind.
Okay.
It's the kind that it's fragile confidence.
Okay.
It's the example
It's
we talked
the
about
one
with
that
Tom
relies
Brady.
on proof to be confident.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Provable confidence.
Right.
And so,
So therefore that's fragile because if you do something that proves that you're not confident, then your image or ego or whatever you want to call it is shattered.
if
because
someone's
of that.
better than you,
Someone's
you
better
no
than you.
longer are confident
Tom
that you're
Brady,
the best.
you were going to say. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
right.
great
We
example.
talked about this last week,
Yeah.
where once Patrick Mahomes is better than him,
Yeah.
then it challenge. I don't know if Tom Brady actually gives a fuck. About,
Right.
but
Maybe
in
not.
theory,
but
he
maybe
might.
let's say in that moment he really
Yeah.
gave a fuck that, top what's his name? Patrick Mahomes was way
Yeah.
better than him. And so that shattered his image of like his confidence in
Yeah.
himself.
And if you can stand in this position longer than I can,
You
I
know-
will lose confidence.
I cannot because I have an injury on my soleus muscle. Talking about injuries.
Oh, and the calf.
Yep, on the calf. So this is all you got for me.
Okay.
Okay.
What are we doing?
I don't know. This is fun though.
I'm gonna kneel now.
My knees are gonna be sick. Do you want this?
No, I don't need it.
Okay. That's confidence right there.
Confidence. So
Okay, so
both kinds of confidence are
Shatterable
important,
confidence.
is what I'm saying. You
Yes.
want, because Alex Hormozy talks about how do you generate confidence. You do things that you like. The things that you try to put into the world actually are put into the world. You say you're going to do something, you do it, and you give yourself evidence that you are capable. And you
Right.
stack that over and over again, and you become a confident person. And he equates it to confidence intervals and statistics. Like,
yeah, and to add,
how likely is something to happen?
yeah, that makes sense. And to add on to that, I've heard Jordan Peterson talk about, at the same time, lower the bar of what it means to succeed, or find the dragon that you know that you can face. That it's just a little bit of a challenge that will prove to you that you are confident, but it's not too much of a challenge that you are now broken on your confidence.
Yes, this is a challenge that we're doing that
Squatting.
right now.
Let's just do the full ass.
Sit on the ground.
So, yeah.
Let's just
Sit.
let's
We're
have a
here.
sit.
We're here on the ground. Let's just have a sit.
Let's just have a sit. All right.
Not that cold.
It's really not that cold.
It's not
actually.
that cold. So, all right. So there's a shatterable confidence, just
Yeah.
to kind of categorize it. There's the unshatterable confidence, right? Which is more of the confidence that doesn't matter what happens to you, whether you
Yeah.
fail or succeed. If you fail miserably or succeed amazingly, you're just going to be confident no matter what. Do you have
Here's the
thoughts on that?
here's the
Yeah.
distinction. So both things are important.
Yeah.
Both things matter a lot. You want results to happen when you want results to happen. You also
Yes.
want to feel good, like have a sense of self-worth no matter what's happening.
Right.
In failure, you still want to feel good about yourself.
Yes.
Here's the part where it actually is relevant to us and
Mm.
to many people listening.
Yeah.
People respond to delusional confidence, the
Yes.
unbreakable
I
kind.
think that's the third
Women
one.
specifically respond. I think it's the same.
Oh, okay. I disagree, but go on.
Okay, so you think there's a distinction between unbreakable confidence and delusional confidence? Or is delusional confidence just another level of, like, is it
So,
just a more
I
extreme
think the distinction,
version?
I can see where they're similar, right? Like in both cases, no matter your surroundings, you need to exude confidence. But the distinction that I'm making there is, it's, in my eyes at least, delusional confidence comes from a place of, I am not confident, and I'm going to tell myself, convince myself, and do actions as if I was confident. And so that's the
Right,
delusional
okay.
part.
There's one that
So-
is independent of whatever's happening, and then there's one is in the face of negative input.
Yes.
Right, so there's basically, I think we actually can make three categories
So
for sure.
yeah. So
You-
can I clarify? Can I
yeah,
clarify? So
do
I think going off of that, delusional confidence is, yes, a bad situation has just happened. I don't give a shit. I am confident.
Right. Okay.
I think true confidence, which is that other one we were talking about where it's unbreakable confidence, is there is no such thing as me doing bad. So I think at a certain point you surpass this idea of there is a bad result to begin with.
People are so confused by this activity.
We love it.
We're delusional for sure. Right, okay, so you have basically where you need positive things to happen to build your sense of self-worth.
Right.
Then there's the category where it doesn't matter what happens, your self-worth is intrinsic.
Right, and then the third level
is negative stimulus is actually
doesn't
anti-fragile. Okay. Got it. So you're not even perceiving negative stimulus. I do think those two categories overlap very strongly.
I do think so too, but I think to help the viewers out, there is a little bit of a transitional phase of kind of faking it. I hate to say fake it till you make it because I know you don't believe in it, but let's use an example. So let's say I'm going out to the bar, I'm going out to the club, wherever I'm going to, and I have this idea that when I'm in a conversation with someone, my brain starts to play tricks on me and tell me like, what are you doing? This is not who you are. You're not a confident person.
Right.
What do you think you could achieve by doing this? And ooh, that save was crazy.
What a catch. I didn't even know that was going down. Okay.
Let's
set this back up.
Yeah.
This is the strangest content.
If you can make the base wide, no, you can't make the base wider.
Let's just hope the wind relaxes.
You know what you can do? Put my shorts on the back end of that.
Where? Here?
Yeah, just as a counterweight. Boom. Oh no! Is that a timeout or is that a deadness?
Where?
This one, lost light.
We're out of focus over here now is the issue.
Okay, we deadish. I think we need a third rendezvous point.
No. Let's get.
Two wasn't enough, Matt. We need a third spot.
Get out of it.
Yeah, my light's dead.
Okay. What if we just didn't use anything before this? And we just only use this?
This is the start of the podcast, actually.
Now we're in the silliest. This is flow.
Yeah, sure.
We're in serious
You can't
flow
label it flow because then it's going to get me out of flow, asshole.
See, why doesn't that work for you? Just to have a real conversation about that for a second. I get in more flow when I talk about when I go meta.
For you, yeah.
Right, but it doesn't have that effect on you.
No, for me, I get to... it's the same thing that happens when you're talking to a beautiful woman and you've made out with them and you're like, oh shit, I think I'm going to take them home. Like that spaz out moment of realization starts to trigger. So when you're like, oh, you're in flow, you're flowing right now, you're doing the thing. I'm just like, oh shit, I'm doing the thing. And then I like stop doing the thing.
Yeah, for some reason, oh shit, I'm doing the thing in this context has an opposite effect.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like if I'm nervous around a girl, then oh my god, like it's like she likes me. This actually, you know what? It works, and I'm just weird. I
think you're just weird. I'm gonna have my ass on this one.
I have literally been like with someone, and like in a moment where no one would ever say something like this, been like, like wow, this girl really likes me, and say that out loud for fun.
Yeah.
Like
you see, okay, that could be fun. I'm a little of a
like guys. I like look at the camera and just be like, guys, she really likes me.
Yeah.
Like to nobody. There's no one else.
Oh, the fourth wall in the bar. Gotcha.
The fourth wall not in the bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so
I can't wait to post that clip. But see, I like saying that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a fourth wall breaker. I need to watch more of your content, to be honest, so I can see how much fourth wall breaking.
Doesn't even watch my content.
More of your longer form content.
You're gonna watch this content.
I may not, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. If it cringes, if I get like a hint of cringe, I'm just gonna be like, better that I don't.
This part is the least cringe part so far.
Amazing.
I feel like we've been getting.
You're calling it out again, guy.
Because this is so absurd.
Yes.
Is this entire project has become increasingly more absurd.
More and more authentic.
It's just taking you more out of logic and into just embrace the vibe.
Yes.
Okay, so
we're embracing it.
You think that there is a point where you're.
So what I was saying.
Yes. Let's go back to your other point.
So just kind of like to bring it back, right?
Let's bring it back.
My education background can't help but to like pull back and clarify or
let's do it.
Decompartmentalize and then go back into details.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
So the first layer we're talking about was this idea of shatterable confidence. You are dependent on your outcome. The outcome that you have determines your confidence level.
Right.
So an example on that
let's call it outcome-based confidence.
Outcome-based confidence is a great word. So an example, just to give a story for the audience, is going up to a girl at a bar, and it goes really well, And because it goes well, you're like, yeah, I can do this thing.
Yep.
Conversely, you go up to the next girl and it doesn't go too well. And you're like, oh shit, I can't do this thing. I suck. Yeah. And so your confidence is determined by your surroundings in that instance. So outcome-based confidence. Mm-hmm. That's category 1. Category 2 is this idea of no matter if there is a good experience like that first encounter or a bad experience like the second encounter, I am going to tell myself, convince myself, repeat, do a mantra, do something to tell myself I am a confident person.
Right.
So typically you'll hear Owen say 1,000 out of 10. Me and Brandon always talk about that's what's up. So no matter so we did it. We actually the other day we went up to a girl and we did a little bit of a behind the back 5. And she didn't give us a high 5. She didn't reciprocate at all. She actually looked at us weird and kept walking. Yeah.
Who doesn't low 5? Come on.
That's you would think. Anyway, so after that we looked at each other. We're like, that's what's up. Because no matter if it was a good outcome or a bad outcome, we have the confidence to kind of.
But there's still an implicit acknowledgement that you know it was bad.
And that's where the third category comes in.
The third category is where you don't even notice it.
There is no bad, right? Everything is good and you truly feel that in your bones. And I think that is true confidence or pure confidence.
Right, and that is what is the most attractive. That's what is that is synonymous with charisma.
Yes. And so you were saying before that you can kind of get away with having the second category, which is if a good or bad thing happens, you're still reacting positively to it. That still works as well.
Yeah, within a narrow bound though, because if something really good happens, you're still going to jump at it. And if something really bad happens, but within a normal range of outcomes, you're pretty much fine in that second category.
Right.
Third category, it doesn't matter what the fuck happens. You could die, it doesn't matter.
Right, and you're like, yo, I died like a boss.
Yeah.
That's so RZ Madison will talk about that a lot actually. His mantra was, I did that like a boss. So if you fell down, cut your knee, fucking broke your eye, like yo, I fucking broke my eye like a boss.
And it's like, even if I didn't do it like I failed at doing it like a boss, like a boss.
Like a boss, right.
You can always get there.
Right, exactly. So like a good example would be, you were trying to go up to the girl, you had a great encounter, and then you went for the makeout, and she like denied you or pushed you away or even yelled at your face. Like, yeah, she yelled at my face like a boss. I got yelled at my face like a boss.
We got kicked out of bathhouse early like a boss.
Oh, no trauma.
That's just what time it closes now.
Yeah,
we just didn't know. That's why we're sitting on the sidewalk. But yeah, it's
So which of those would you classify as delusional confidence?
The last one.
Okay.
The good kind. Okay. I guess that's what I'm using. And so that's the kind that's most attractive to people. I actually asked ChatGPT today, why is delusional confidence attractive? Why do people like it?
Yeah.
And it's there's a sense of safety in it. There's security in it. You want to follow that because it's like it corresponds to leadership. It's like someone who is certain is really the reason it's good. It's like this guy is so certain in himself. Like I want to be part of that. Yeah. And it actually can be dangerous in a lot of cases.
Sure.
And it can be like if you're an athlete, like people loved Kobe Bryant because like no matter what, he always wanted the ball.
Yeah.
If you actually look at Kobe's numbers at the end of his career, so Kobe had an Achilles injury 3 years, like maybe his third to last season. Then he came back. He played 2 more years where he was not his normal self.
Okay.
He was terrible at basketball, like relative to other NBA players. He shot like low 30s field goal percentage a couple of years in a row.
Wow.
And specifically at the end of games, his field goal percentage, like his clutch shooting statistics in his final 2 seasons were abysmal. Gotcha. I think 1 year he shot like 24% from the field. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm probably a little bit off the numbers, but
yeah.
somewhere in the 20s in clutch situations, field goal percentage, which was like the worst in the entire league.
Pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know numbers like that, but just imagining if you're only hitting 2 out of 10 buckets, pretty bad.
It was. So I was betting on sports at the time, and I would bet on the Lakers when he was out because most people would think the Lakers were a better team with him on the court. It was actually opposite. His backup shooting guard Wayne Ellington
was a better shooter.
Was significantly better than him at that time because he wasn't actually like if they played one-on-one, Kobe would have beat him.
Sure.
This is a very long-winded tangent. Kobe would have beat him one-on-one, but his net effect on the basketball game because he was
basketball's more complex
because he was so selfish. His shot selection was so bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was making the team worse objectively by any standard.
But regardless, he was delusionally confident through that process.
People love that.
Yeah.
Like he's killing his team.
Yeah.
Like he's making his team so much worse.
Yeah.
And yet there's an appeal to that. You're like, this guy just doesn't give a fuck. Like he just wants the ball. He'll take every shot. Like I want to be that guy.
Right.
Like there's a disconnect. So logically you can know like, yeah, this guy is going to like walk in front of traffic and maybe get hit by a car or something. He just doesn't care. Like logically you can still think, you can know that it's a bad behavior, and yet there's this primitive sense that you want to be around that. Like it's just very captivating.
I think where that comes from is the idea of like a protectorate. If you are the protectorate of a group, you will jump into the fire to save your group.
Mm-hmm.
No logical person, no person in their right mind would jump into the fire to save anybody. Right? Because people are thinking about, I want to survive myself.
Yeah, unless it's literally your own child, you're just not doing it.
Yeah. There's very rare cases, but I think for the most part, people won't do anything crazy to save the group.
Yeah.
And so when you see somebody doing crazy things, it's almost like, okay, wow, like so he would do crazy things even not to protect the group. I could only imagine how crazy he would go if he was a leader.
And none of that is happening at the logical level. It's all evolutionary hardwiring.
Agreed.
And so that's why it's compelling, is because it triggers something primal to want to be associated with that.
Agreed. Yeah. So now let me ask you, maybe you can start this off. How do we get there? What's the 0 to 1 process look like?
Right.
Like
so,
I can tell, let's say, I was a teacher for a while teaching younger kids. I can tell those younger kids, just be delusionally confident until I'm blue in the face. But it takes something to actually get off the couch and take that first step.
Yep. So you have to start. It starts with the framework.
Okay.
You have to build a belief system into your mind, which I think you can do consciously.
Mm-hmm.
You basically reinforce a belief system and a framework in your head that rewards, like you create your identity, which I do think you can do. I think you can actively shape your own identity from the inside. Mm-hmm. You build your identity around things that correspond to that and avoid identity-based things around like the opposite. So the example would be my Tom Bilyeu is my favorite person at talking about this.
Who's Tom Bilyeu?
He's the guy who founded Quest bars, and now he sold that company, and now he's it's called Impact Theory is his podcast.
Okay.
He's like, I think 4 million subscribers on YouTube or something. He's pretty big.
Cool.
He talks about how his identity is the learner. He prides himself on his quest for knowledge, and he doesn't care. Like his identity is not shaped by already knowing anything. He actually rewards himself for admitting he's stupid.
Gotcha.
So he has made it so that
go ahead, finish.
Okay, the thing that gives him dopamine, the thing that gives him all of the, I mean, it really just is chemicals. Yeah. The thing that he's getting fulfillment and happy chemicals and all of it from is the pursuit of more growth.
Gotcha.
Like it's not, he is completely detached from where he is. I mean,
winning for him is not winning, but it's growing.
Yes, winning for him is admitting he's wrong.
So bottom line there, what I'm hearing is that he reframed what success looked like.
Yeah.
And so a quote that I hear that I go about a lot is, you either win or you learn.
Yeah.
And so there is no lose, right? And so you're kind of training your brain. I think this is what you're saying as well. Like you're training your brain to full body believe that you either win or you learn. There is no such thing as lose.
Yep.
So this to me is that like middle stage of I'm training myself until finally I'm there. And now I'm just a winner.
And I think you never fully get there. You just start to shift the balance.
Shift the gears. Interesting.
Yeah. Like
maybe you expand your susceptibility.
Yeah.
So with good and with bad. So you were talking about the narrow range before of if you have one thing that's good or one thing that's bad, you're easily moved around by those things, by those actions. But the better you get at holding your own confidence, the more you can get exposed to really good. I just got $1 million, my first sale, or really bad. I just fucking lost $1 million. Yeah. And you can still kind of stay confident through those more extreme times. So maybe that the limit doesn't exist there, but
you don't quite get there, but you can approximate it.
Right.
I personally got this lesson in two different. I got it from two different places. The more recent one is the socializing aspect.
Okay.
Like the feedback from women is the place where I've gotten it more recently. But the foundation of it started in my sports gambling career.
Makes sense.
Because I had to learn how to, instead of building my self-worth around how much money I was winning or losing, it was how quickly could I get back to baseline after an extreme outcome. If I lose $10,000 or $20,000 in a night, or I win $10,000 or $20,000 in a night, how quickly can I get back to normal?
Gotcha.
Because the wins would make me manic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would want to just celebrate. I used to like buy a round of shots for everyone in the bar if I won a big bet.
Yeah.
And it's like too much. Like you're celebrating too much. It's too extreme.
Right.
And on the downside, I would get like I would just get depressed and sad and want to be isolated if I lose. And so
very outcome dependent.
I needed to close that. I needed to narrow that.
Yeah.
So that almost no matter what happened, it could be like a meditative practice where it's how can I get back to normal?
So when you say get down to baseline, you don't mean economically, you mean spiritually,
my state.
Your state.
Yeah. And so
emotional state.
What it ended up like when I eventually stopped betting, I was betting like pretty substantial, like thousands of dollars every day. Sure. The place where I got to where I peaked was it would need to be a really, really large win or a really, really large loss to affect me. And anything that was more moderate wouldn't anymore. Gotcha. So that's what you're talking about.
So you expanded your range.
Yes. Yeah. I would need like, I can count on one hand in the last year I did this was 2023. Mm-hmm. It was like half the year. I stopped in June. In those final 6 months, maybe there were 2 nights in each direction where I was affected.
Okay.
And the other 175 days or whatever, I was unaffected completely. So my success rate on that was pretty good.
Gotcha.
I was able to remain unaffected.
You increase your percentage
most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think like that, and maybe if I'd gotten a little better, instead of 175 out of 180, it'd be like 178 out of 180.
Yeah.
But at that point, it's nitpicking. Like it doesn't.
Yeah. Sure,
99% and 99.5%. Like what's the
difference? Right. And there's definitely a threshold that would be interesting to kind of discover on social experiment in that same realm, right? Like what is that threshold that you need to reach so that the public doesn't realize, or most of the people that you interact with won't realize that you're just fake confident?
Yeah. I mean, it's actually true that I'm almost never in a bad mood.
Okay.
And it's probably also true that it's definitely asymmetrical because the good mood is the baseline.
Right.
I think for both of us.
Yeah.
Like when we're engaging with people, like
I think we've lifted our baseline.
The baseline is on the positive side of the scale already.
Yeah.
So the bad mood would be one side, and then I guess it would be manic also. It would be
gotcha.
It would
positively manic.
Manically depressed. It would be uncontrolled, I think.
Gotcha.
There'd be a loss of control in the positive direction, I guess. I don't know. Do you think you experience either of those extremes through like weekends out, nights out in bars? Because I think those are, and maybe just not enough extreme stuff is happening, but it takes a lot to rattle me, and it takes a lot to make me like inconsolably happy too, if that is a term that makes sense, where I'm like, and I think part of that, this is a whole tangent, is we're trying to make ourselves into people who are happy no matter what. So maybe it only really applies in the negative direction for this example. But like, I'm very rarely rattled by social interactions.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's true of you also. I feel like it probably
I think I saw it. There's 2 things I want to bring up, because you brought up this idea of like, again, you're training yourself to forget about the scale, this scale being good interactions versus bad interactions. Because you're saying no matter what happens, I'm happy ultimately, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the first thing I was going to talk about. Second thing I was going to talk about is if I think about it, because I do like debriefing and thinking like, how was my night? What did I do poorly? What did I do well? So that next time I go out, I can improve on this thing. And so you do have to kind of like bring the logic back in to say this was objectively a bad result based on the goals that I'm setting.
Yeah.
And so that now the part that remains your confidence, or that sustains your confidence, is realizing that despite that this was not the result I was looking for, I still know that I'm the shit.
Right.
You can separate yourself, your identity, with the results that you're having for the night. And I think that's really important, especially in the journey of getting better at something, because your perspective of what good is going to change as you get better too. So when I first started, gaming, for example, when I first started going out and talking to people, my perception of success was, can I talk to somebody and they actually talk to me back? Like if that happened, I was like, oh crap, like that was the bar. That was great. That was a great interaction. And what was bad is if they would reject me, or if they would not welcome me into their circle or conversation and have a conversation back with me. And when I first started out, that would affect me drastically. But then as I got better, that became an easy task to do. And so now if I get into a conversation and it goes well in terms of they talk back, that's like not even in the scale anymore.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking for the next thing as a marker of success.
Right. So the earlier levels are not this. You remove the scale from the earlier levels. It's the later levels of the social interactions where you actually maybe are affected.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and if you think of it as like the infinity scale, let's say the worst of all worst objectively for anybody is at 0, and the best, the opposite side of that spectrum is 100. My view was somewhere between 10 and 30. That was bad and good. That was my scale. Okay. On the God scale, if you will.
Sure, no, I'm following.
And so now my scale is more like 20 to 60, where I can see what a bad and a good is. But if my previous scale was 10 to 20, now what was great is now my lower end of the scale.
Yeah.
And so my perspective, I'm saying all that to say my perspective of good and great or good and bad has changed. But what has also changed is the fact that any of that matters. No matter what, I had a great night. I'm a confident person. Like, that doesn't change my identity. And which I think is kind of what you were alluding to.
Yeah, your identity has to be around the pursuit of the thing, not the results of the thing.
Yes.
Like, you want to be aware of the results because it helps you get better.
Yes.
You need to dispassionately look at the results.
Yes.
In anything. Like, it's so easy in some contexts and it's so hard in others because in dating, people tend to take everything very personally.
Yeah.
It's like, it says something about you as a human being if someone doesn't like you. But if you go play a sport, like if I had a bad shot on a golf course, I don't think I'm worse as a person.
Right.
I might think I'm a bad golfer if I hit enough bad ones in a row. But even that I don't. I'm like, I'll actually think if I hit a really bad shot that's uncharacteristic, I'll think I'm so good. Like I'm too good of a player to hit that shot. Like I got to figure out what I did wrong for the next shot. And it's only after like a streak of bad ones, which I think is also relevant when you can get in a downward spiral when it's several bad outcomes in a row.
Yeah.
But regardless, even if I fall into the death spiral of I'm a bad golfer, like I'm not as good as I thought I was, there's no part of that where I'm like, I'm a worse human.
Sure.
But we do that with, like, some people will actually do that with sports.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll start, they're very defeatist in just the way they think of everything because the sport affects their state so much.
Right.
I think it is the most common area to be affected in human interaction because it, like, they're directly responding to what you're presenting as a person.
Yeah.
But it still is not quite the same thing. They don't know you. Like, if you go talk to someone in a bar for 45 seconds and they're like, listen, I see what you're trying to do here.
Right.
We've both heard countless times, like, I'm not here for this.
Like, oh, you're doing a shtick, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not here for this. Like, just leave me alone. Go try this on somebody else.
Yeah.
And there are harsher versions of that, too.
Yeah.
What they're rejecting is not you. They're rejecting that version, what you presented in those 45 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not actually you at all.
Sure. Yeah.
But we take it very personally, or we tend to. So getting out of that, like being able to, I mean, it sounds like disassociating. Like you can sort of border on what some people would look at and be like, that's a sociopath. Like, he just doesn't, but it's not. You're just realizing that it's a separate thing.
Yes.
Like, you're not presenting your human essence to the person. You're presenting like a very tiny slice of you.
Sure. Yeah.
It's such a small fraction.
In those 10 minutes, they won't possibly have the idea of who you are. Totally.
Even in 10 minutes, I'm talking about 1 minute where the blowout can feel personal. 10 minutes, it's still they don't know anything.
Yeah.
Even 10 hours, they don't know that much.
You don't know who I am yet. Yeah, for sure. You don't know who I am, man.
I don't even know who you are now.
I knew you.
These people definitely don't know us.
I knew you were gonna take it that way.
Should we let them be in the podcast?
It's up to you. You're the.
You guys want to be in this show?
Yes.
We're doing a podcast. Do you want to be in? I feel like we hit our end point. We should just have an ending celebration.
Emmanuel, I love
Matt.
Okay, really nice to meet you guys. Yeah. Sorry for interacting with you.